So, Shri, we're here to talk about your role. It's like you're driving everything from the back of the stage. Hmm? But you could have been on the stage as a Enpro co-founder for a company that you built, you and Alka, and she's not here right now, but I know both of you built. I'm very proud of you for a very specific reason that we are from IIT Bombay. Hmm? And getting into a global complex engineering ecosystem as a world leader is amazing. And I want to pick your brain today on this panel that you have put together at TICON, which is probably just 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks away. And I
Yes.
see I'm very teased with it that there are world leaders there in their own field, and there is an engineering entrepreneur who will probably grow his company by 50 to 50, 60 times. Most of us don't hear these stories. So tell me, what's the secret behind this panel?
Yeah. So, Kiran, what we are doing is we are running a track on engineering manufacturing, which most people consider as very mundane, but there are very exciting things happening in this field also. And we would like to showcase entrepreneurs, uh, very successful entrepreneurs, the old class, the new age entrepreneurs who are into deep tech manufacturing of consumer products,
Mhm.
and growing entrepreneurs who have developed new technologies and are growing their business very well,
Mhm.
as well as investing companies who are focused on investing in manufacturing companies. So
Yes, you have the potential investor who is interested in investing in manufacturing companies.
absolutely, I mean,
That's interesting.
they find it more exciting to invest in manufacturing and engineering companies than many of the new age IT companies also.
Mhm.
So this is at least as exciting a place as many other technology companies are. No?
Correct.
So we would like to showcase that in our TICON, and uh, leading this panel discussion is a woman entrepreneur who has co-founded a modern IoT company along with her husband,
Mhm.
and she would be bringing out nuances of all the
All the
engineering manufacturing
engineering
company
manufacturing.
businesses.
Actually, Shri, what you talk about having made a career and a living out of building futuristic technology in computer science, I find it that I won't even call it traditional. These are engineering businesses. They are as complex as anything in IT. But what I find very interesting is their survivability. They don't go down. They put a price on their failure. While sometimes the technologies feel that it's okay to fail, and it's okay to fail if you have a reason to fail. But putting a price on your failure, I find it very inspiring. So many of these companies are around. They make profit, they grow very well, but they don't talk about themselves. And what is the reason for that?
Yeah, so many of these companies are family businesses,
Okay.
and they kind of tend to be, you know,
Hmm.
closed and uh, so to say proprietary in nature.
Hmm.
But there is no need that it should happen. Now
Correct.
we have on our panel a, person who has founded a company and gone public, and very visibly public, very successful company.
Hmm.
And so in this space also there is opportunity to unlock value by going public
Hmm.
and grow your business. uh, Having said that, it is also okay to be private and still be successful. Like
Yes.
there is an entrepreneur in the panel who is a global leader in making very high quality machine tools,
Correct.
and
Correct.
they've been in business for last 40 years.
The business last 40 years.
Yes,
Actually.
and believe me, global leaders.
Correct. Correct.
So we would like to showcase these businesses as well, and inspire people in the engineering manufacturing sector
Mhm.
to really go after growth.
Go after growth. It's interesting that these stories will inspire someone who is sitting there thinking that I can't grow to grow. What is the lesson for IT entrepreneur here? Because there'll be a bunch of them sitting there listening to this panel. What would be their learning out of these entrepreneurs?
So, uh, first of all, everyone today wants to be an IT entrepreneur, but there is only so much you can do in IT.
Correct.
Whereas brick and mortar, manufacturing, engineering is something which cannot go away. You have to live. To live, you have to make things.
Correct. Correct.
So engineering and manufacturing is something which will always be there. Now that will be enabled by digitization. That will be enabled by modern techniques, state of cutting edge technology. Deep tech has a big role to play in that.
Correct.
And so there will be opportunities for innovation in manufacturing, engineering also.
Supported by the IT.
Sure.
And it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, sure,
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
So digitization is the way forward. Innovation, deep tech is the way forward for engineering, manufacturing.
Correct.
And those companies which will engage in these aspects are sure to win.
Sure to win. It's interesting you say that. We have one of our speakers, Naganan. He's a technology researcher, techno entrepreneur, and now managing partner. He's going to talk about deep tech, and they invest in heavy science companies or software, pre-revenue deep tech, and I think he'll put a perspective which I think we can pick it up. Something else I'm thinking that when a business survives for 10 years, 5 years, 7 years, there is a lesson to learn from the entrepreneur as to how to survive first. I know in sports, if you talk to an international cricketer, which I had an opportunity once, he said first 20 runs you just survive. And then you think of, because when you can see the ground, everything else, then you start thinking maybe T20 is different, but there is a learning from a traditional entrepreneur who has survived for 10 years, 15 years and built a profitable business.
This is very true, Kiran. If you see, out of 100 companies who start with a big idea, maybe 99 will not survive.
Correct.
So survival is key to success. Not the big idea. The big ideas can come later, but first you have to learn to swim, and then you can
then figure out.
Try to cross a channel.
Correct.
So it's important to learn to swim first.
Yeah.
And
if you're dead, in business. If you're dead or out, there is no chance.
So big idea, unless it is put to work, it doesn't bring you money from home, and you can't survive without money for very long.
Are the engineering businesses, like you mentioned, that there is an investor there looking for this, and we have one of the panelists who's raising a round right now, typically heard only in the IT or technology jargon, and he's doing that. There are growth genes, and I think today's global environment, India is quite well poised to build these businesses for global consumption. What do you think about it?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. No manufacturing business now can flourish really without thinking of global, and especially true for manufacturing. China plus one policy, followed by many of the Western countries, only is helping that for entrepreneurs in India. And so thinking global, competing with the best in the world is the way forward. You cannot say that, okay, I am an Indian company, this is how I do my business. That won't happen. Because globally the companies are coming to India, and so Indian companies will also have to go to the globe.
I want to ask you something else here. Your co-founder is Alka.
Yes.
And she is also your classmate from IIT Bombay.
That's right.
Your panel moderator is Sujata, who has built a electronics engineering company. So women are very much into it, right?
Absolutely. I mean, they're the best leaders you can have for your organization.
For your organization.
Yes. So also the third panelist, Mr. Kekar, he's also co-founded his company with his wife.
Moini.
Mohini,
Right.
and so they've all built very successful businesses.
Successful deep tech
So
companies,
I,
engineering
I,
companies. Yeah.
I can venture to say that a husband-wife co-founding team can be a winning team most of the time.
Correct, correct. And good pedigree, IIT Bombay, COEP, good engineering,
Sure,
you
sure.
know, and technology genes, growth genes. Nothing can be better than
Yes,
that,
and
right?
I think this panel discussion
Mhm.
will add a lot of value for any entrepreneur who wants to grow his business in the engineering manufacturing
Correct.
field.
And I'm very glad you say that because when I was designing the track,
Mhm.
there were two schools saying let's create multiple tracks, and there was another one who was rather very powerful that this program looks so good, let's create one track and everybody should benefit from one track. And I'm glad that that's where we are 2.5 weeks before the conference. Shri, I want to thank you and your panelists and the people who have worked behind the scenes to make it happen. And all of you, who would listen to this podcast, short one, it was very impromptu. I was in Pimpri Chinchwad area, and I never forget Enpro and captured, Shri's, early thoughts on it. Do visit uh, our website and register for it. Engineering or non-engineering, it's time to register, and for engineering it's time to grow. Thank you, Shri. Thanks a lot.
It's a pleasure. Don't forget to register on TACON.